sit down and watch TV. Familiar faces comfort me. Miss my...
What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Cartoons and Cereal, Episode 3 on tap. I'm your host, as always, Joe. And today I have a very special friend of mine waiting in the back. Got to give him an introduction that only he deserves. One of the first people that I was able to start off on YouTube with and meet in person. Great guy. You see him in a lot of different live streams. I feel like I can say this, everybody loves him. And if you don't, then you probably just suck as a person. But the one, the only, Paul the Big Bear Hughes. What's going on, man?
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate that. I'm actually a horrible human being. This is all an act.
All right, well, let me just... just practice that when I start doing live streams.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the channel. I think you were on the sleepover special, but like...
I was.
But
yeah, that was fun.
But this is me and you. This is me and you. It was awesome getting to finally meet you at Legions.
Oh, so much fun.
And I just love how you just like stiff armed everybody. Just like hug.
I told you I'm coming in. I'm coming in. You're gonna get the hugs. You're gonna get them.
Give the best hugs, man. Give the best hugs.
Gotta give my boys the hugs. That's And
it was a weekend. Like, it was a great weekend. Like,
I had too much fun. Like, too much fun. The only thing I didn't have fun about was someone throwing ranch dressing all over you. I wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, but, I feel that. I was gonna make a Yelp account just to give her a 0-star review, and then
it's just at this point, it's just let it. We're just let it. We won't let it go, but we don't need to paint anybody.
We ain't got it. We ain't got it. But that night, the pizzeria with the screwball, the yearly tradition. Yearly tradition started.
Man, and we got to have Four Feathers there. And we got to have our Archie.
Oh yeah.
Come, and Arthur. I mean, if we can get everybody every year, that's got to be our thing.
Get the band back together every year. That would be amazing.
Special.
Oh yeah. Well, again, welcome to the show. You know what it's about. Childhood, nostalgia, memories. So season 1 was about me and a lot of the shows that I grew up watching. I hop in front of the TV, get my bowl, whatever else, and I would throw on the morning lineup. I'd binge all through those until, like, I always tell everybody, I had to watch the morning lineup of shows until Soul Train came on, and then my mom would be like, turn the channel, you're done. I used to like to see the little train come dancing in. Like, that was...
You were banned from the Soul Train?
I was banned from the Soul Train.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I was like,
no Don Cornelius?
No Don Cornelius for me.
Man, that was good stuff too. I watched that a little bit.
I was probably about 7, 8 when it used to come on, like something like that. And it was just like, you don't need to be seeing these women gyrating like that. Turn the channel. Time to go outside. Time to go play with your toy or something. But this,
you got locked up.
Yeah, man, it was rough. But what was your Saturday morning lineup? Because, like I said, season 2 was about what I did. So, what was your routine? What did you do on Saturday mornings?
So, well, I mean, it changed. Like I had like eras where it's like I can remember. Because when I was young, Saturday mornings, the one thing that always really popped out to me, well, there were a few things, but what I can remember, because of course I'm a child of the 80s, so because I'm older, if you can't tell, but so the one thing that I always remembered as a little kid, always Tom and Jerry, always Looney Tunes, like they always had some sort of block of Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes coming on. Popeye, Woody Woodpecker. Even as a little kid, like I wanted to watch old Woody Woodpecker type cartoons, like Droopy Dog, all that stuff, Chilly Willy, like, and then and the Hanna-Barbera stuff. So it was just Flintstones still came on a little bit here and there on Saturday mornings if they were like rerunning it. There was a lot, and then of course, because like during the week, like all this, whenever people are like, "Oh yeah, Saturday morning cartoons, Transformers, GI Joe," no, that was during the week. That wasn't on Saturday mornings. Like at least for me,
Right.
where I grew up, and I grew up in Washington State, so it's like, but we had like that stuff was like before school, after school, you know, Monday through Friday stuff. But Saturdays, that was when it was like, you know, you might see like Brave Star, or you might see there was like superhero stuff, but it was like Thundercats might be on Saturday morning sometimes,
Right.
or you know, but it was like, but a lot of the times the stuff that always in my head was like Wacky Races, or like, you know, like Scooby Doo was on. I wasn't a huge Scooby Doo fan. A lot of times it was like Scooby Doo was on, but I was waiting for something else to come on. Like Jetsons would be on, stuff like that. And I had an older sister, and she commandeered a lot of times the TV.
Fair.
So it was like I was watching the stuff she was watching. So, and of course, she liked Gem and the Holograms and stuff stuff I would have to watch. That I was like, it's like I don't hate it, but I'm just it gets on. Strawberry Shortcake. She loves Strawberry Shortcake. Care Bears. You know, and I'm just kind of like, all right, cool. Can we? But then like, No Soul Train. Like, I don't remember that being on in the morning. But what would come on after the cartoons, which I watched, was wrestling. So it was usually a rerun wrestling from like the night before or two. I don't remember exactly how, but it was like a pre-tape.
Yeah.
And so I watched WCW. You know, there was WCW. Before that, it was like, you know, NWA or whatever it was. It was, you know, it was like the, you know, because that was what was on like TBS. Like,
right.
And my father had cable pretty early in our household because he liked MTV. So I got MTV.
See,
so
TV. It's the thing. I just, like I said before, like I couldn't watch Soul Train. I couldn't watch wrestling either. Like,
and that's the thing is I knew a lot of people who couldn't watch wrestling, and I was like, my parents didn't ban me from watching wrestling. It was just like if I put wrestling on, everybody just cleared. Everybody just cleared, and I just watched it on my own. I watched WWF also. So like the Rock and Wrestling was going on, you know.
I couldn't watch it because it was like, the thing with my parents is like, they were, I make sure they're not, like they weren't like listening. They were not listening. They weren't like strict like that, but there was obviously rules. But again, it was like I was 7, 8 years old, so then it would be like I could be trying to sneak a match of like The Rock wrestling whoever, and then of course like the moment they walk in, it's like a bikini match or like a mud match or something like that, and they'd be like, really? And I'd be like, and I'd have to like turn or something like that. And I'd be like, yo, I was flipping past, and I saw The Rock on, and I listened to The Rock cut a promo, and then the moment I'm getting ready to change, it's like Trish Stratus just like bare ass, and I'm like,
and see, and see, by the time that this was, for you were a little kid.
Yeah,
I was a teenager when this was going on.
Yeah,
so it was me and my friends, and I had a friend who actually, his dad had like illegal cable, and so it was like it was like a little plug-in like filter, like pay-per-view. It's a steel pay-per-view basically.
Oh gosh.
and so we watched all the pay-per-views without paying.
You got the childhood, man. Like,
well, I mean, but this was during the Attitude Era too, so it was like we were watching like Degeneration X and you know, so we were watching all that stuff as teenagers. I was in high school when this was going on. So it was like if I had been a little kid when the Attitude Era was going on, there's no way my parents would have been
right. Right. Like and it sucks. That's the era I grew up in, and so many of my friends were like, they were into wrestling, so it was like a majority of my like toy collection was wrestlers. Like I had so many like of the aggression figures, and I had the Jakks Classic Superstars. I had so many of them. So
I
it
had
was like,
belts.
yeah, like so it was like I had 3 or 4 belts too. So it was like I knew some of the wrestlers and everything, but like my friends would be like, "Did you see the match?" No, like don't even ask me because I can't watch it. Like, and it would be tough because like there'd be sometimes like on Sundays I would go over to my cousin's house, and my cousin's like your age, so like he might be like a little younger than you, but like he would be probably like 12, 13, 14. So if he wasn't in high school, he was like middle
Junior high,
school, entering high school ish. So like he would get the pay-per-views, and like we'd go to his house and we would watch them. And again, like it would be banger match after banger match, and it's me, my older brother, and then him, and we're watching. And then my parents, more of my parents are like, they'd come to my uncle's house to come pick us up to come home. It's like Trish Stratus and Tori Wilson in a mud wrestling match, and like ripping bras off and stuff like that. My parents, like,
yeah,
like, and it would be like I'm just coming back from the bathroom because I don't know what happened. I just know The Rock won the title. I'm like, cool, my favorite wrestlers. I go to the bathroom, I come back down. This is on. My parents are standing in the door, standing in the doorway, and I'm just like, my hands are still wet from the bathroom. Like I didn't even know. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like, you can't come over here for like 2 months now. Like, oh great. Like, like that's what it always was. Like always. But I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling until there was at some point, maybe like middle-ish school to high school, where it was a turning point because they didn't want us watching that, and they didn't want us playing like Grand Theft Auto. Like we had Grand Theft Auto 1.
There was such a stigma about Grand Theft Auto. It was so funny because it's like if you watch footage from like GTA 3 when GTA 3 came out, now it's laughable.
Oh,
but at the time there was just like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. Like the first Mortal Kombat came out, I was just about into like middle school, junior high-ish. And there was the blood code. When parents heard about the blood code, that you could put in a code to activate the blood in version, and it was just like a like everybody, all the parents were like clutching their pearls and stuff like that. About my parents, and this is where it was like I was lucky because I did grow up in a house like there was like religious, like my family's Catholic. So it's like there was, like some strictness to certain things. Right. But for the most part, when it came to music, video games, movies, my parents were pretty like, we trust you. You can, like, we trust you.
That's, damn, that was the exact fucking opposite. Like,
and that's, but the thing is, one thing though that's so funny is like people were like, "Oh, did you ever watch this show or that show or whatever on Sunday morning? Remember Sunday morning cartoons too?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't watch a lot of Sunday morning cartoons because Sunday mornings I was at church, and then when we got home from church, you know what's going on? Football's going on.
Football.
My father is going to watch his football.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is that as a kid growing up, it was exciting though. It was like I grew up where it was like, oh no, it's Sunday. That means that we're watching football. We're gonna eat and have and watch football because that's what my dad does, and he gets the TV. So that's what I grew up with. And so then when people were like, oh yeah, remember on Sunday mornings and I'm like,
nah, I don't either. No, because I was the same way.
Sunday nights, I know some Sunday night stuff like that. Like I remember Magical World of Disney on Sunday nights because we'd watch that. We watched Jeopardy. Like, but it's like, what was usually on? Football's on. You kidding me?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what we even really watched on like Sundays. I'm trying to think of what I watched because like Cause I remember, so Sunday, same thing as you. Sunday, we used to go to back in the day, like we used to go to like 8 a.m. service. So
Yep.
like
Yep.
I was getting up like 6:30 in the morning on Sunday.
Oh yeah. Get
And it
dressed
was
up, get all ready
get
to go.
dressed, Sunday's best, sit through 8 a.m. service, and then we would go to Sunday school.
Yep.
It would be church like 8 to 10, and then we would do
Mhm.
Sunday school 10 to 10:30, and then we'd walk down the street to my grandma's house. It'd be me, it was always me, my brother, my cousin, no, me, my brother, and my two cousins, so four of us.
Mhm.
We'd always go to church, go to Sunday service, and then we'd walk down the street, we'd eat breakfast together, the four of us, and then it would probably be like we go back until my grandma had like a backyard. We go to the backyard and she had a basketball hoop, so we'd go play basketball for like an hour, and then we'd come in, and then 1 o'clock, Giants are on, like, and
Yep.
that was it. Like Giants are on, and then after that, we'd go home, and then my parents would be like, "You have from like now till like 6 o'clock to play video games." And then after that, 6 o'clock, it goes off, it goes away. Because I could only play video games on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mhm.
6 p.m. Sunday, that thing is off, and you're doing whatever. You're eating dinner, you're getting a shower, and going to bed. Like,
Yep. Get ready for
couldn't,
school.
couldn't even really remember what came on Sundays. The only thing I do remember was My Brother and Me, and I hated that show. I hated that show. Like,
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, that was. I remember Simpsons was on Sundays for a while because my
I
dad
wasn't allowed
liked
to watch that either.
See, my dad liked it. If my dad didn't like it, I would have never seen it. But my dad liked The Simpsons, and he had the TV, so he'd put it on. And I want to say it was on at like 8:30 at night, but not come like 9 o'clock is bedtime.
Done. Oh yeah.
9 o'clock was pretty much bedtime almost. You know, until I was, you know, probably in junior high. And then from there it was like maybe 10 o'clock.
Yeah. But
also I was a kid who was not like I wasn't trying to stay up all night either. I was pretty much like, oh, I'm going to bed. But you know,
I was the
in
opposite.
like high school, you know, and then I got to high school and then it was like, I'll stay up all night. I don't care. Like, I'll do whatever.
Oh yeah, I was kind of opposite. Like I always wanted to stay up. I don't know why. Like growing up at elementary and middle school, like I always wanted to stay up. By high school, I was going to sleep at like 11:30 though. I was because I had to be up by like 6:15 to catch the bus, whatever. But like,
well, I did. So I did Boy Scouts. And then I well, it was like I didn't choose to. My mother was pretty much like, you should do this. You know, like it's good for you type of thing.
Telling me doing this, huh?
Yeah. Well, it was pretty much like, oh no, we're gonna have you do this.
Yeah.
Like you'll have fun because we said so.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, okay, and also like, so my dad, you know, because I come from a military family too, so it was like, I think in my parents' head it was like, well, he's a military kid, so he should be, and the scouts are kind of like military, and you know, and I think my I think my dad just really had this like, oh, like someday you're going to be in the military too, so you might as well just, you know, type of thing, because he used to go out to sea and stuff, and I think my mom was like, you know, she was a den mother, so did all that, and then of course I was doing sports too. Like I played basketball at one point, I played football at one point, you know.
Oh yeah,
you know,
but
I never played anything where you had to run too much though. I was in basketball, but it was like I didn't run a ton. I was in the post. I was the tall kid.
I played basketball in middle school. I stopped playing after that, and I just played football for like 4 years. I did some track, and then like senior year, I got bored, and I went out for the bowling team because I literally was just like, I'll just go bowl for free for a couple hours. Like whatever. If I don't make it, then I got some free bowling. Ain't nothing else to do. My football season's over. About to go home, so I went and tried out for the bowling team. And I bowled like one game, and the coach was like, "Hey, you made the team. Sit down." I was just like, "For real?" Like I went out there and just like it was fun. I played
baseball, and they were like, they took one look at me, my friggin' 6 foot tall, 300 pounds, and they're like, "You ain't playing baseball." I'm like, they were pretty much like, can you throw? Like, can you throw like, 80 miles per hour? 80 miles per hour? I'm like, no, probably not.
No.
And they're like, you ain't playing. Doesn't matter how hard you can hit. You're slow. You're big and slow, and we don't really need that. I'm like, fair. But then, of course, I was always getting like one of my football coaches was the wrestling coach also, and so he was like, "Hey, wrestling," and I'm like, and then I went and tried out for it, and I was like, and they were like, "No." Because of course I went in there thinking like, oh yeah, I like wrestling. I watch
power bomb people. Oh yeah.
And then I go in there and I'm like, not doing anything right. Not at all. And I'm bigger. I was so big. I'm not tooting my own horn. I was just a big kid, but like I was bigger than everyone. There was one guy who was in my weight class. And he went on to actually become a state champion wrestler. He was good. He was really good. But I was like, it would have been me and him at every practice. Just me and him. No one else. No one else was even close to our weight. And where I kept getting taller and bigger, he just got more and more muscular. And he lived the collegiate wrestling life.
Yeah. Oh, like, I think it is funny, like how I feel like you go through like cycles in life. Like when you're younger, you go through the cartoon watching all that stuff, and then by like the time I got to high school, I feel like I didn't watch cartoons too much. Like I feel like you kind of go through that cycle. Did you?
Okay, so but you got to remember
it changes. Like it definitely changes what you watch, though. Like
it does. But this is the thing. So this is when I was 12, 13, X-Men came out.
X-Men 95?
Well, you mean they call it 97 now, X-Men 97. But I'm talking about the original X-Men series.
Yeah.
It came out when I was like 12 or 13.
Okay, that's understandable. That's true.
So,
you were in the 90s.
So I was a comic book kid.
Okay.
So I read comic books. So I never, because if that show and Batman the Animated Series, which also came out around that, like a year or two maybe before, but came out around that time.
Spider-Man too.
Spider-Man came out in 94, I think. It was like 94, 95.
Yeah, I feel like a couple came out in 95 and really changed things.
Exactly. So those shows were coming out, and then the Marvel Power Hour was coming out and stuff like that, where it was like Iron Man, and they think they had the Hulk show and the Fantastic Four show, and those shows were all coming out, and I was reading the comics at the time, so that kept me watching cartoons every Saturday morning because it was like Fox Kids and stuff. So it's like I was a teenager, but I was watching Saturday morning cartoons because they were coming out with stuff that I liked. So, and I'm glad I did, though, because then they had other stuff like Animaniacs that I would have never seen if I wasn't watching the other shows. Or Tiny Toon Adventures, or Eat the Cat. That's a deep cut.
I don't know if I know that one. I have to look that one up.
That one's crazy. That's like a Ren and Stimpy type of just off the wall.
Ren and Stimpy's.
That's the thing, is it's not for everybody, but
no,
you had to live through it for it to stick to you a little bit.
I watched Ren and Stimpy as a kid. That kid, you know what? That came on Sundays sometimes when I was growing up. I remember watching Ren and Stimpy sometimes on Sundays.
Nickelodeon would put it on at night.
Yep, that's exactly it. I think that's when like that came on. I want to say like Rocko's Modern Life came on around then too.
Doug came on at night sometimes too.
And yeah, Doug was you can come on at any time. Like Doug came on at any time for me at least. I think the reason I kind of fell out was because of, like all the football stuff. Because I started thinking about like we played football Saturday mornings. Like so my freshman year, all the freshman games were usually like Saturday morning, like 9:30 in the morning. So it's like I was like, you have to be, but it's like, check-ins at 7 a.m. So I have to be there by like, whatever. I have to be up by like 6:15 to be there for 7. Games at 9, done by 10:30. Get back home by like 11:15. and then it's like it's over by then. Like it was over. So then it was like, okay, then I want to go home, want to shower. Now it's noon or 12:30.
Yeah.
I'm just out wandering the town with my friends, like, and that's all it was. So like, all of that, like, I never watched Saturday morning cartoons again because it was like I was doing football, and that football took up all that time every Saturday morning. So it was like everybody
I didn't stick with football for that long. I didn't do that many years, and part of it was because I was just like, it didn't interest me. I didn't like a lot of the guys who like I couldn't personally connect with a lot of people who did it. And a lot of the guys who I really liked, a lot of them dropped off with me, and then we ended up being friends at school, but not because of the team anymore. We're because of other stuff. Right. But then we did stuff like weightlifting together or something like, like in school. And, and then later on in life, post high school, we were just friends because we were just friends.
But, yeah, I mean, that's usually, I feel like it's how it usually happens, at least football.
Yeah.
I'm friends with a couple of my friends I still play football with, but I played all 4 years, so it was like my cartoons.
But also, I gotta say though, I'm self-aware. I knew I sucked. I knew I was not a good. I played center. I was not good. I was not a good center.
No, damn.
I was not good, and the reason why I wasn't good, part of it too, was because I didn't care about learning any sort of skill to it. I was like, I could do a lot more if I had actually been like, I'm doing this, I'm going to learn this, I'm going to, take practice real, like, and everything, and I just couldn't. I got into it with one of my sister's friends, got me into it. And I was sophomore in high school, and I was getting into it, and I was like, man, this just kind of
not your thing.
Not my thing, but I didn't stick with it. And I was like, because I was like, no. And it's like, but the thing is even if I had stuck with it, I know it wouldn't have done anything. I would have just gotten more hurt than I did.
Listen, I can't say I don't have any regrets playing, but I think my body does.
Shouldn't have regrets.
My body is 4 years, and this is only 4 years I played. And listen, I got some injuries. That's a whole other podcast, bro. I'm telling you. It I always think about like I was I'm a 90s baby, and you know that. But like it sucks because like I didn't like, I'm not gonna say I took for granted with the cartoons that I watched. I wish I watched more though. Like I wish, because I know like TMNT came out in '96, and the original, the one on Tubi's in '96.
Earlier.
Oh well, the one on Tubi says '96. That's when I've been started watching.
Depends on which one you're watching.
I'll have to look it up.
Might have ended in '96.
It ended in '96.
The original TMNT, that was early '90s. Early '90s.
I gotta look that up because the one I'm watching on Tubi.
Because I was a little kid when it came out. But they've redone the series a bunch of times too. So
yeah.
You might be watching from a certain point where it's still considered in the original series, but it was like maybe 7 seasons in actually, or redone. I don't know.
Maybe it was redone. I don't know. But like when I look between that and like you said, X-Men came out like '95. I was 4 years old, so it was like I had seen it. And that's where I kind of like, that's the earliest memory, because I wasn't a comic book kid. Like, I wasn't a comic book kid at all. So it was like, my earliest memories of like Wolverine, Gambit, and Jubilee. And that's why those are my 3 favorite X-Men. I love Jubilee. But it's like because of '95, like because of the original cartoon. So watching that, but I'd never I watched it and I was like, oh, it's great. And I love the outro. I always love the outro because it had like the 3D models of them that were like spinning and shit like that. And
it didn't stay for very long. They changed the ending credits.
I know, and I hated it.
Times.
I hated it. It was so cool. But it was like they had that, and just like the show was great, but it was like I regret not watching it as much as like I should have. Like, and I wanted to see more of it. Like now, I'm like I can go back as a 34-year-old man and go watch it, but now like when you watch it, it's just like this animation is so hard to get past. For some of the shows,
I mean, yeah,
hard.
Because like there's a lot of shows that I love, like cartoons that I love that I have strong nostalgia for from growing up. And there's a lot of people who go, "Why do you like that?" And I'm like, "No, I get it because, like, I like He-Man. The He-Man cartoon is rough to watch. You know? Like, if you didn't grow up with it, you gotta have nostalgia for it. Because if you're not a He-Man fan and you just want to just raw dog go into He-Man, you're gonna be like, "What am I?" You're gonna be like, "What am I watching, dude? Like, this is ridiculous." I'm like, "Yeah." But I love it because I was like 5 when it came out.
Oh, it's like you can't not like that. Like that's like a hard thing. You have to watch that. Like that was me with like.
But then there's the shows that are timeless, and I don't. And I'm sorry, they're just like objectively are just awesome. No matter like Batman the animated series, that's one of the best cartoons of all time.
Of all time, hands down.
You don't even have to like Batman. You'll watch that show and realize how freaking good it is.
Oh yeah,
it's just good. It's
that cartoon was so like I want to say ahead of its time almost. It was so good, like
so good.
Oh yeah,
I did watch that on Saturday mornings because they would replay it on Saturday. They would replay ones from during the week on Saturday morning, and so I'd watch it.
I do remember that. I do remember that being on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, and I loved. I mean that show. And the thing is that because when you're a comic book fan and you're like mainstream comic books, like I liked some independent stuff too. Don't get me wrong, but most of it was Marvel and DC, and you usually lean towards one or the other more. And I lean toward Marvel heavily, but Batman was top tier. Even if you're hardcore Marvel. You love Batman because Batman's awesome.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Like I think in the order I watched probably X-Men a little bit more than the Batman show, and then there's probably X-Men, then Batman, then probably Spider-Man. If I had to rank the 3, like I watched Spider-Man, but not nearly as much as I watched the other 2. And again, I was like 5, 6, 7 around the time, like for me at least. So it was like. I always liked Spider-Man, but there was just like something about X-Men I always loved more. Like, so
Spider-Man, I love Spider-Man too, but Spider-Man to me is always going to take a backseat to X-Men. For me. Yeah. However, I have a lot of friends who they were like, "Get out of there! Spider-Man's the best," and I'm like, "Cool, I got no problem with that." I get it. I get that. I get the love people have for it. But for me, it's like, X-Men was it for me. However, comic book side, I was all about the Avengers too. The Avengers, and that's what people don't remember because everybody knows how big the movies got and everything, and everybody's like, "Oh, Thor."
Yeah, see, I don't know anything about the Avengers before the movies. Like, I didn't
exactly.
Like,
exactly. When the movie started coming out and all the stuff, when they announced Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, "What the hell? They're making a Guardians of the Galaxy?" Like every hardcore, like '90s comic book nerd kid was like. What? We're gonna see Rocket Raccoon on the screen like that. Like it all our minds were blown. You know,
like, I had never heard of him. Never heard of him. I just
didn't read the comics.
No, you know? I never heard of it. The only reason I saw the trailer and I was like, what's the guy's name? What's Star Wars' name? What's his name?
Peter Quill. Oh, you're talking about Chris Pratt?
The actor. Chris Pratt. Like, I saw that because I liked him in Parks and Rec, and I was like,
Yeah,
They put
yeah.
Chris Pratt in like a serious, not serious. At first, I thought it was a serious role.
Superhero movie, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, putting Chris Pratt in a serious movie. Okay, interested. And then it was like, oh, Zoe Saldana. Hold on, let me see what this is about.
You're like hold on, let me get my glasses on.
Yeah, like, and I saw it and I was like, okay, it's not like a serious movie because Chris Pratt's still like an idiot, but like it was good, and I was like,
yeah,
what is this new Guardians of the Galaxy concept? Never heard of this in my life. Like, and then you look at his comics back from like the 70s and 80s and shit, and I'm like, oh, damn, I know nothing.
It's not even like the original comics. That's the thing. Is that?
Oh no, I've seen the original art of the comics. I'm like, this is going weird.
Yeah, that's why I was like, when I saw what they did, I was kind of like, huh. Okay. But at the same time, it's like what they did with Drax. I was like, wait,
yeah,
he's just playing Drax. What the?
That was interesting because like I watched the movie and I like so then if I didn't know anything about the comics. I only knew about the movie. So like, I'm watching the movie and I'm like, well, it's Batista. It's Batista. He's going to be a beast and he's Drax the Destroyer. But he was literally comic relief the entire series.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
they played up the dumb side of him because in the comics, Drax is the first version of Drax is kind of dumb. He's kind of dopey a little bit.
Oh, see, I thought he was just like
kind of a berserker, but he's not funny though at all.
Like
he's still a serious threat. Like he was
right.
He was like he's also like he was built to kill Thanos type of thing.
Like
and it was like, but in the movie, it's like he's a species of someone who doesn't understand sarcasm. And he's, one of my favorite things about Drax was when they're talking about in the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie when they're talking about those batteries and they're called like quadrant batteries or something, and he's just like, yeah, Harbolary batteries. And he's like, that's wrong. And he's like, no. Like, no, it's like, yeah, Harbolary batteries. Like, he just came up with a word for himself that, like, no, that's what they're called.
And like I saw it, I was like, this okay, I don't know who this Drax character is. So it's like when I see stuff like that, I always want to go look into it after the fact. So like I was like, this is not the same guy they portrayed in the movie. Like, dude,
not at all.
He was just a murderer in the comics. Like, yo.
Oh yeah, in the comics, like at one point in the comics, he goes from being kind of like a bigger, dopier dude to like almost like seemingly dying, but then another like smaller, more cut, ripped, more murderous version of him like rips out. It's like, yeah, it's way different. I'm like okay, like how are we gonna do this? Like in my head, I'm seeing that like murderous, knife wielding, like rips through aliens guy,
right?
I'm like, they're putting this in the Disney Guardians of the Galaxy movie. What are we doing here?
Made that dude strictly comedic relief.
Yeah, just like my nipples, like. Yeah, just like
all his scenes with Mantis, where he was just calling her like ugly and everything, just like you're hideous. Like why? Like, dang. Like, jeez.
Yeah, he pops off with some lines. Nothing goes over my head. I'm too quick. I would catch it. I mean, it's brilliantly dumb.
Yes, it is. And Batista, hats off to him for actually doing like a good job with it too. Like he did a solid job with it. Like, and
he's actually a legit good actor. He's in a lot of. He's been where he actually does a pretty good job. He was a Bond villain. And what was that movie? Spectre. I think it was Spectre, where he was like a Bond villain, where he was like an assassin.
I want to say I saw clips of that.
Yeah, and it was actually good. Like he was kind of legit scary. I think he like crushes a dude's head or something like that. Like one of the first, he does something crazy. Like
I gotta say, he's probably one of the better like wrestlers turned actors out there. Like one of
yeah, like no one thought John Cena was gonna work, but John Cena's friggin' hilarious. Like
yeah. I didn't see that coming either.
I didn't. I thought it was going to be kind of disgusting, like Hulk Hogan acting. But no, it worked out.
It was after, like, especially after, like, John Cena did, like, the Marine, and, like, the whole time he was just, rounds. They took my wife. They took the whole movie. He just kept saying, they took my wife.
Well, because also it was written by, a bunch of WWE writers.
he was definitely cutting promos in the movie. I was like, oh, man. And then they went to Marine 2, and it was like Ted DiBiase Jr. I was like, okay.
Oh, I know. Didn't they do the Marine like 7, and it was like Miz was in it?
It was just dragging it. They were dragging it.
Yeah, it was just, they made them for like $1.50, and they made like $7.50 back. So they were kind of like, okay, well,
yeah, like, ugh. Well, my thing is, like, I hated that. Like, I'm not saying I hated, but I wish I had, I guess, like, known more about different, like, cartoons, because again, I was not a comic book reader, so it was like my main shows on Saturday mornings, because my lineup during the week was so drastically different, and it was I'll always be like, I never understood why they didn't show the same things, but like during the week, whatever, on the weekends. But like I would always go on Kids WB and watch like Animaniacs and everything that came with that. What was it? Animaniacs was like Slappy Squirrel and all the little skits within there.
Yeah, the Good Feathers. Well, it's like basically the Good Fellas, but
the three pigeons, right? Oh my god, yeah. I love them.
So funny.
Love them.
Katie Kaboom was one of them. That one was funny. Where's the girl who just freaks out and turns into a monster for some reason because she gets angry about something.
Yeah, Pinky and the Brain. And then again, I see in the intro, like Men in Black was like one of my favorite cartoons, and
the animation was so good on that.
It was.
It like that was like one of those cartoons that came out, and you're like, "Is it supposed to look this good? Because it looks really good."
Yeah. That was one of my favorites. Then, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Before I even knew Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like, I didn't know it was an anime. Like, I was just like, this is a cool cartoon. Like,
or Digimon. Digimon was around that time too.
Digimon was great. Pokemon, and then like, Pokemon came out. Now we'll go to like 7, and I loved Recess. So it was Recess, and people hate Pepper Ann, but I love Pepper Ann. Pepper Ann was good to me. Like, I don't know if you watched that, but.
So when that stuff started coming out, it was on in my house, but it wasn't on for me. It was on for my nephew. So my nephew was born in 97.
Because it was definitely
97 or 98.
It was definitely late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. So he was like a little kid. And so we would have on stuff like that, or Franklin, or what was the other?
I hated Franklin.
Hey, see, this is the thing, like, it wasn't for me. None of it was for me. It was now because like we had a little kid in the house, my older sister's son, which I helped kind of raise. Because I was the babysitter. I was willing
free labor.
Yeah. So I was taking care of him, and Uncle Paul was around, and so Blue's Clues. We watched Blue's Clues. We watched SpongeBob.
See, all that stuff came on Nickelodeon for me. That didn't like.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I was saying like that was all like Nickelodeon stuff for me. I didn't watch any of that. I didn't watch like Franklin. Like on Saturdays or anything. That was just like a weekday thing.
They had it on in Cindy. I don't know if it was like Cindy. Well, it was just on their channel. We watched that too. But there would also be like there was other stuff we'd watch too that it escapes me. But
Probably
I know
Little Bear.
Magic School Bus would still come on.
Oh, Magic School Bus was such a good show.
We watched, but we'd also watch like Rugrats. We'd watch, like it was kind of like stuff that like I kind of knew that was older, but they were still playing it. in the late 90s, early 2000s, and now I'm out of high school.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, like it still would be on sometimes when we're all like the family's all together and stuff, and when I was moved out of the house. So when I was
high school?
After high school,
Oh,
high
right.
school, I moved out of my parents' house at 18.
So
I was immediately like out living. I got an apartment with friends and stuff like that, and but I would still I'd still see my nephew. I'd still see, and it was like, and the thing is that even after having a job, if I got a Saturday morning off, I'm watching cartoons. Like, I'm still like I wake up, like if I was awake on a Saturday morning and not working, like, oh, I'm turning it on to see what cartoons are on. Like,
so what were you watching by high school and out of high school? Like, what were you watching then?
well, so in high school, I was still watching the kids WB stuff.
Okay.
Or the one big thing that I did every Saturday when I was in senior year, around senior or junior to senior year, was you won't remember this obviously because this was not your time for this, but Saturday mornings at 6 a.m.
Ooh, no.
Yeah, so bear with me here. At 6 a.m. on Saturday mornings, I discovered, I want to say I was 15. So actually, I was probably so it was sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
Yeah. So, Sci-Fi Channel did anime.
I always hear about that, but
And the thing was is that you didn't know what it was going to be. It wasn't a show. They didn't do episodes of a show. It was movies. It was anime movies. So it was one-off stuff.
Yeah.
And again, you didn't know what it was going to be. They would announce what it was 30 seconds before they played it. So it was it was just they would just say anime on sci-fi. That's all they would say is anime on sci-fi. But it was, the reason it was 6 a.m. in the morning for me is because it went by East Coast times. So it was 9 in the morning when they were running. But I live on the West Coast, so it was Pacific. So it was 6 a.m. And so I would get up at 5:30 in the morning and set the VCR
just to see what it was, or
I would tape it. No, I would tape it. The block was 4 hours long, and so I'd put a tape in, and they'd play 2 movies. And of course there's commercials and everything, whatever.
Yeah.
But I would get up in the morning, and I wouldn't always stay up. Sometimes I'd stay. Sometimes the movie would come on, but I'd tape it no matter what. And the reason I would tape it is because I want to go back and watch it again most of the time, and because I was getting super into anime, and anime was not like it is now. Back then, back in the late 90s, mid to late 90s, there was a lot of anime, but there was no YouTube. There was no it's you catch it where you can catch it, and then if somebody manages to bootleg some stuff for you, or if you have a lot of money and you can buy VCR tapes, because this is even before DVDs,
Right.
So, but I would get up in the morning and I flip, I'd turn on the VCR and just leave it to record, and I would just basically I'd get a 4-hour VCR tape, a blank VCR tape, and I would just record whatever until it was done, until there was no more room on it. Right. So sometimes I would record the 2 movies, and then I'd also have whatever was after that, and I'd start watching kind of what was after that, and I'd find out about other stuff on the Sci-Fi Channel that I liked. But that's how I originally would see some of the anime movies, Akira and Ghost in the Shell and Vampire Hunter D and Green Legend Ran and Blue Seed and stuff, just all kinds of old school anime stuff. and none of it was really joking. It was all the serious, action-filled, sci-fi, horror anime stuff, and it was like none of it was goofy, chibi. It was all really like serious stuff, and I loved it. And it spoke to me as a comic book kid, because I was like, I wanted to see like serious, cool, actiony stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, but see, the thing was is that I wouldn't a lot of times sit and watch it all on the first go round. I'd watch other cartoons on another channel while I'm figuring that, or I'd go back to bed. Straight up, just go back.
I will to say 5:30 in the morning on a Saturday when you don't have work as a commitment. Like,
yeah, well, that's the thing is like I also had jobs too, so it was like sometimes it was like, oh yeah, it's Saturday morning, but guess what? You get to get up and paint the fence, or you get to get up and go mow the lawn, or like my mom loved doing projects around the house, so she would be like, oh, we're building a new jack, kind of thing. And when I say we, I mean
you're helping.
You will be doing a lot of stuff.
Of course. That's how I was telling. I was telling Dante and AO Frankie was on here too. I was talking to him too. The same similar things. Like there would be some Saturdays where I felt like there were some like weeks when I was growing up that it was just like 7 days a week I was doing stuff, and it was like because you were in school Monday to Friday, and then you come home, you do homework, we'd watch a couple cartoons, whatever. You eat dinner, you shower, you're 9 o'clock, whatever. You're in the bed because you got school next morning. So it was like, you only got like 3 to 4 hours of your day when you come home from school to really do anything. And then Saturday's like, oh, cool. Saturday morning, I can wake up, I can grab my bowl of whatever, I can sit on the bed. And then like you get told like Friday night, because Friday night you can stay up a little later, you can watch some cartoons, you can play games, whatever. And then you get told Friday night, like I would at least, hey, we're gonna do a breakfast at the church tomorrow morning, and I'd be like, okay, I had a whole week of school here. I'd like to have a day. And it's like, oh no, you got to come with us. And it's just like, so it was like 7-year-old me. Now I got to get up at like 7 in the morning on Saturday, go to the church, help my parents, set up tables, lay the blankets or lay the tablecloth down, set up plates, set up forks, set up knives, set up a whole breakfast, feed people, break everything down, go back home. And then it's like, now it's like 3, 4 o'clock on Saturday, and it's like, great, I've missed all the cartoons. And it's like you said, like there was no YouTube, it wasn't taped, there was no DVDs, nothing. So it was whatever happened in that episode of Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever it was, I've just missed it, and I will never see it now. Like, and then,
unless
like,
you catch a rerun somehow.
But that was rare. Like,
yeah, there was like, not a. That's the thing too, is that like I was lucky to see some stuff when I did, but also one thing I was lucky about was, so I had friends who loved taping everything off TV. I had a few friends, there was a kid who lived across the street from me who was one of my friends growing up, and I think he would just literally tape the cartoons so he could sleep. But he wanted to watch the cartoons, so then he'd get up at like 11 o'clock and watch all the cartoons. But I would go over to his house sometimes, when I was able to like go spend the night and stuff like that. And he would bust out a tape and be like, "Oh yeah, let's watch cartoons." I'm like, "Well, you have cartoons on now?" Because it's like 7 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I tape the whatever channels Saturday morning cartoons," because there was like 4 channels for Saturday morning cartoons. It was usually 4, 5, 11, and 13 or something like that for us.
Yeah, I think ours was 4, 5, 7, and 11 or something like that. Or 2, 5, 2, 4, 5, 7, 11, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like it was kind of like, oh, which cartoons do you usually like? Oh, I usually like watching like the Fox ones, like 13. So he'd be like, okay, and he'd have it like, and his dad had like, he was also the kid whose dad liked electronics, a lot of electronics, like the newest and best. So he had like laser discs, and I was like, what the hell is a laser disc? You know, I'm like 12 years old, and he's like, come on over, we're gonna watch laser disc. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And he pulls out a laser disc, and I'm like, it looks like a record, but it's shiny, you know, kind of thing. And he's like, we're gonna watch Ghostbusters on Laserdisc, and I was like blown away, like everything behind me is just like Star Wars, you know. And like I just went into hyperspace because he just said, I'm going to sit and watch Ghostbusters on Laserdisc. I'm like, what? You're kidding me.
Didn't have any of that, man.
Oh, we didn't have it.
Like, no, I know, but like even my friends
loved it though.
My friends didn't have that. Like we were the people where like I would miss whatever, and then I'd get back home at like 2-3 p.m. and I'd try to go run outside and go catch my friends, whatever. And again, I had to go find my friends because there's no phones or anything. So it's like I gotta go knock on my friend's across the street's house. Hey, so and so home, and he's out with the boys, or whatever. I go next door, go find this one, and then when you finally find them, they're like, "Yo, did you see the new episode of X-Men and Wolverine? He was fighting I didn't see anything. Like I don't.
You're like I don't know.
Yeah, like yeah. Like, no spoilers, please. Like it's like yo, but I can't go back and watch it. So it's like you might as well just tell me because I'm never going to see it again. Because you were dramatic as a child. It's like I'm never going to see this episode again. So just tell me what happened. Like I guess it's like it's not like you can't spoil it. I'll never go find that episode. Like
and see, and like I said, like on my own, I didn't see all of it. But like I said, I had a few friends who like they were luckily they were so. I had some friends whose families, man, they were just so into like taping everything. We taped a lot of stuff off TV, but I mean, there was a time when we didn't have a VCR, so it was like I'd go over to these other kids' house in like the neighborhood, or you know, friends in like Boy Scouts, and it was like they were like, "Oh man, let's watch." Look, I have like you know the first 4 episodes of you know the Beetlejuice cartoon, and I'm like. There's a cartoon for Beetlejuice?
Oh,
like, you know,
I love that cartoon. I love
so
that
good.
Cartoon. It's so good.
And then I'd watch it and I was like, when's this on TV? When can I watch it? And then I found out when it was on and I watched. That was a cartoon I
What
watched.
was that? What was that channel? What was that on? What channel was that on?
I want to say it was on like ABC in the mornings on Saturday.
I don't remember, like, because I remember the cartoon. I remember watching it. Maybe
I want to say it was on ABC, and I want to say it was on around the same time as Hammerman, which would be the MC Hammer cartoon.
I loved Hammerman.
And I watched Hammerman. I watched Hammerman. The Hammerman theme song is still up here.
Oh, Hammerman! Hammerman!
Hammerman! Yes!
I love that cartoon.
Dude, okay, so...
I have like
I was 10 years old when MC Hammer hit it big.
Oh, like
who loves some MC Hammer? This guy right here. Vanilla Ice. This guy right here.
We either have or had. I know for sure we had them. I don't know if we still have them, but we had the Hammerman cartoon like VHS tapes growing up. I think I had like 3 or 4 of them. I don't know if we still have them, but if we do, I might just keep them. Like, like
that, magic does the magic dancing and.
I had the toy. I had the doll too. I had the doll with the purple jump. I
wish you still have the doll.
I've been looking online. So I'm like literally like I might have to go buy one in package, like in box. If I can find one.
I'm gonna buy it for you.
Like, I was looking like I might have to go get this Hammerman figure, like because
I had
Hammerman I got, like I might have to get it.
I had on video on cassette tape. On cassette tape, I had "Let's Get It Started" from MC Hammer, which it came out before. Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him. that one, Let's Get It Started. It's a good album. Underrated.
I might have to. I'm gonna put like the MC Hammer from the cartoon on the thumbnail.
You know what?
Good. It's
I
so
don't care what anybody
good.
said. Hammer, he was too legit to quit.
Yeah, that cartoon was so good.
I'm unapologetic. Hammer. I like me some MC Hammer. I don't care.
That was so good. I remember that cartoon. Remember Wayne Head? Wayne Head was a weird cartoon. It was a weird one.
I
But
don't think I ever really got into watching it though.
no, you remember? You remember what it looked like or anything?
Probably if I saw it.
Wayne Head was like it was a whole bunch of kids like pretty much in the hood, and there's the one. It's because it's from the Wayne's Bros made it, and it's the one Wayne had like
Okay.
mad big head, and he had the I think he had like the cleft foot, so he had like the one really big like walking boot foot, like really, and then the other foot was like regular, but he had other friends. It was a weird show. It was a weird show, but like it's kind of like a deep cut for some people. But I love
that was
Wayne
a WB show, wasn't it?
I want to say yes.
I think it might have been WB. There was a lot of WB stuff that it kind of came and went really fast too.
It's like the PJs when the PJs originally came out on Fox.
Or
that
Baby's
was like
Kids. You ever watch Baby's Kids?
That like came and went real fast.
Real fast.
Oh yeah, I used to love. Remember Max Steel? Remember when that came out?
Max Steel. You know, and they tried to make a movie of it, and it sucked.
Oh, of course it flopped. It was. I love the show.
It was like there's no reason. Like you, it's like you way missed the boat on this. Like this should have come out like 20 years before you made this. You know.
Oh yeah, I love me some Max Steel. That was good. And then I didn't care for it too much. But I had a figure or two. But Action Man, they made Action Man.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that show? That cartoon?
I do remember, and I want to say I had at least one or maybe two Action Man figures.
Yeah, I had a couple, but like I think I had one, but like it was alright. I preferred Max Steel. Action Man was just like
Max Steel was better, but
yeah,
Max Steel was better. I didn't get that. And I mean, and it's funny too because I just think about because it does go hand in hand with obviously action figure collecting.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing is because I can't even remember did I love figures first or cartoons first, and I can't even answer that question. But they're so
they do go hand in hand. They do go hand in hand.
And it's true. Like kids are just not like that anymore. No,
they're not. I'm trying to look up. I kind of want to look up the Hammerman figure.
Oh, you gotta look it up. Oh man,
find it. That is one thing that really does kill me. Working in like school systems now and stuff like that. I see kids play with toys. Like they'll bring toys to school and stuff like that, but it's very few of them. Like very few of them bring toys to school. Like there's a couple kids that have like they have like Ninja Turtles, but it's like a Ninja Turtles like plushie, and there's a couple that have like some people have like a Sonic figure,
Roblox.
Yeah, everybody's in Roblox and
like it's just different. It's
all that Italian brain rock crap and everything. Like, and I'm just like man, y'all don't know, man. Like y'all never experience Saturday morning cartoons. Like you'll never experience that. Like there's no.
It died.
Yeah, there's no way.
When it died. Yeah.
I don't. I really don't. Because like I said, like once I got to high school and stuff, I moved on from like watching cartoons because I had just no time because of football and everything. So like I don't remember when it was like just it stopped coming on at from 8 to like noon or whatever. I don't remember that at all.
I remember reading an article because I was obviously like an adult now, but I remember reading an article, and I want to say it was in the mid-90s or mid-2000s rather, excuse me, where it was like Saturday morning cartoons has died. This will be the last weekend where there's like a dedicated Saturday morning cartoons on network TV. I'm talking about like network TV.
See, I don't even want to read that because I'd be depressed. Like,
Oh, it did depress me.
I believe
don't even
it.
go looking for it because it's not even worth it because it will depress you. But it's just reading it. It was just like because and what killed it was the fact that like there's no support behind it anymore. There's no viewership for it really. I mean, when you have Disney Channel, when you have and it's like now there's the internet. Now there's Disney Channel. Now there's Nickelodeon's full swing. Everything's full. It's like Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Is huge, and it was just kind of like there's no point anymore. You can just turn to the cartoon channel.
Yeah.
And so it's just different.
It was so. It was, and I not to cut you off, but like I just felt like when I was watching during the week, it's crazy how I felt because like when I was watching cartoons during the week, and then when I was watching on Saturdays, it was completely different. Like I don't know if it was that for you because like for me it was like when I come home from school, it was I'm trying to think like what was really on. Like there were some kids WB that would be on, but mostly I would watch like Nickelodeon, and it would be mostly like reruns of like Rugrats and Doug, and then like later on turned into like Cat Dog and Angry Beavers, and then there'd be a while after like then like T-Nick would come on and you start getting like Kablam, and then like Clarissa Explains It All, and then Alex Mack would come on, and all that stuff would come, and then all that would come on. All that was like the height of my Friday night. Like you end off like everything with like all that, and I love.
I was a teenager by then, but you know what? I had a lot of friends who still watched
like,
a lot of. I still watched Nickelodeon when I could because there were a lot of cool. Dude, Guts.
Guts was awesome.
Yeah, there was
Double Dare was
Guts,
cool.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. A lot of.
I wanted to be on that show so bad.
I watched Double Dare when it was like in its heyday, but then they still reran it up through when I was into high school, and I still watched it. I still liked watching old episodes of Double Dare because it was just fun.
Yeah.
And then like Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I didn't watch that because I was terrified. I was a young kid.
Oh, I love that show.
Terrified. Salute Your Shorts. I remember that used to come on.
Legend of Pete and Pete, when they would actually pull those old episodes out. Those were fun.
Yeah, that was by the time I was growing up, that was rare that they put Pete and Pete on. They didn't put it on.
It was rare, but when they did, I was like, yeah, because that show was so weird and funny. So Erie, Indiana was another one that was not on Nickelodeon, but it was kind of on the same vein, of like the Are You Afraid of the Dark, and I kind of Goosebumps type stuff.
Yeah, Looney Tunes would come on, Tiny Toon Adventures, all those would come on. Like all that stuff would come on like during the week for me. So like that was like my regular, and then it was funny. Like we used to just watch just Nickelodeon, and then like one day my brother was like, "Yo, you ever heard of like Cartoon Network?" And I was like, "No, what the hell is that?" Because we didn't have Disney Channel. Like we missed out on like Kim Possible and all that stuff. We didn't have that. So I was used to all the Nickelodeon stuff, and then like Jimmy Neutron a little later on, and like all that. And then one day my brothers introduced me to like Cartoon Network, and like my whole life changed. Like after like seeing like Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Lab and Ed, Edd n Eddy and Johnny Bravo and Samurai Jack a little bit later on, like all that started coming on. I was just like, okay, I have so much to watch cartoon wise. I was going back for that's when you have the last button.
Dog.
Oh yeah, so that's when you have the last button. I'd be on Nick Cartoon Network. That's all I did was ping pong back and forth. But then Saturday mornings, none of that was on. Like from 8 to like 11, none of that was really on. It was just now it's back to NBC, ABC, WB, Fox. Like knock out those four, and then noon. Then I go back to Nick Cartoon Network. Like there was so much to watch. Like,
and for me, I liked Cartoon Network. I didn't have it all the time. That's the thing is so. One of the things that really kind of speed bumped the whole like cable for me was that our cable companies at the time, I couldn't even name all the ones we had because they kind of like they would change names. It'd be the same company, but they changed because this is all during like this is before it was like, oh, you have cable, it's Comcast or Xfinity. It wasn't like that. You'd have like one cable company, and then all of a sudden the next month it's like, oh, our cable's now called this. and it's like now you have like different channels. We added some, but we took some away, or we don't carry this channel anymore. Now it's going to be this, and or like, oh, remember when MTV used to be on channel 50? Now it's on channel 37, or like they would do stuff like that.
Yeah, we got that.
So like one of the things that happened, but one of the things that happened. Sorry, not to cut you off, but it's like 1 month we would have like Disney Channel and Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, and then the next month we only have Nickelodeon. And it might stay like that for 4 or 5 months, and then all of a sudden one day it's like, oh, and then like now we have Cartoon Network again, and so like that's why it kind of sucked when it got into like, oh, like I really like Courage the Cowardly Dog or Rocko's Modern Life. I'm like, oh, I'm really getting into it, and then all of a sudden it's like I don't have it. I don't have the channel for it anymore. And so now it's like, so then I lose interest in it, and then it comes back.
Understandably.
Like, and then it came back at one point, and it was like, oh, now we have Toonami. And I was like, sweet, I can watch Toonami because I like anime.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, I can watch Bleach. And it's like, but you're following episodes. And then it's gone. And you're like,
see, we had Nickelodeon, and I don't know when it happened, but it was just like we had Nickelodeon, and then like I said, one day my brother was just like, "Do you know about Cartoon Network?" And I was like, "Nah." Then we changed to it, and just one day we had it. But then like they changed up our channels too, because my routine every morning before school, I would watch either Rugrats before, like as I was getting ready for school. For us, Nickelodeon was 6. And it was 6 for the longest time. Mm-hmm. So then we'd watch. I would be like, all right, boom, turn to Nickelodeon, watching. And then if I had time for one more show, I would watch that, and then I would switch over to Pokemon. Pokemon would come on. So I'd watch like 2 things before I left for school. And then there was one day I turned TV on, I turned to 6, waiting for Rugrats to pop on, and it was Spanish channel. And I was like, what the hell is this? Like,
wow.
Yeah. So then this is when you have to like either channel surf and click every button, or you have to go to the TV Guide channel when it was
the
like
TV
Guide
and wait for the scroll.
Yes.
You're sitting there going,
please hurry up! Like trying to look over, like what's the next one? What's the next one? It's like, yo, hurry up! And I'm like, yo, then if you walked out the room, you came back and you missed it, you'd be like, oh my god, I gotta wait for it to go back around. Like, bro, I had to go, and I just started like channel surfing. My mom, it was like 7 something. My mom was like, what are you doing? Like, you watch Rugrats every day on channel 6 before school. What are you doing? I'm like, I turned it on and it says Unimas. Like, what is that? It's like, I think it was Univision or something. So I had to go back, and now I'm searching through. I'm like, okay, let me go to like ESPN, because ESPN was like 12, and I went to ESPN, and it was like QVC. They were selling like China sets, and I was like, what is happening? My whole world is just like the whole world.
You're like, I don't want a porcelain cat.
It just ruined everything. I was like, yo. So I had the channel server that I finally saw like Nick, and it was channel 41, and I was like, this is so gross. Like, what is 41 for Nickelodeon? Like, Nick was always 6. Like, it was so bad. I had to find every channel all over again, and that's when like my brother, like, I didn't go past a certain point, because it was like I wasn't watching anything else besides Nick. So it was like, unless it was the weekend, then I'd go to everything else. But other than that, I was just on channel 6 all the time. Like so to go to channels, and then when we got Cartoon Network, it was 72. So I was like, what are you doing in the 70 channels? Who knows?
You're like, what?
Way too far. like, and I had to go past certain channels. Like, I think we had, and if I went too far, because Nickelodeon was 41, for me 42 was Sci-Fi Channel. So if I went to, and I was like terrified of the Sci-Fi Channel. Like, because I just always thought it was like horror. and scary things on there.
They put a lot of that stuff. To be fair, though, they put a lot of stuff like that's how I got into like. I know you're not as into horror movies as like me or some of the other guys like Arthur.
Yeah,
in the art, but it's funny because the reason we are is because we were the ones who were like, I'm gonna watch this channel. I want to see what's on here, and it's like or TNT or TBS because they would marathon these movies like at odd hours too sometimes, and that's how I got into horror movies when I was a little kid. It was like cable TV, random times, and it's like we're gonna play The Exorcist, Shining, and all this stuff back to back, and I was like, and it was like, ooh, I'm gonna watch it. I don't think I'm supposed to watch this.
Yeah, I was terrified. I'd be on like. And I knew I like traumatized myself because there was one night I was laying in bed and I was watching Nickelodeon. It was on 41, and of course, like we had the broke ass remote where like the 2 button was missing or something like that. Or 4,
yeah,
some button was missing. So I was like, I think it was like the
all
4
this
button.
rubbed off. You're like,
yeah,
gotta kind of know which way.
Yeah, so I'm like, I have to go to like channel like 42 and then go down arrow or go to 30 or go to 40. No, I can't even do 40 because all the 4s are going. So I had to go to like 39 and go up. And then like I went up too far and I went to 42. It was sci-fi and it was the TV where like
the front of the TV.
It was the TV where it was like I had to legit wait for the channel to switch over. Like the channel would freeze. And then it would switch over, so I couldn't just go back to 41 real quick. So now it's on sci-fi, and it was like a movie. It was like Jason Goes to New York, or whatever that one was.
Oh,
and
Jason Takes Manhattan. Yeah.
And the one time I switched to it, he's just like. I'm like,
taking some dude. You're like,
and I'm like 7 years old, like.
Rugrats.
And I switched back to 41 real quick, ever since then. I was like, after that night, it was like. Every time I got to like 40, 41, if I had to go past 42, I was like real quick.
You're doing like this.
Jump to 43. Let me go back to 43 real quick. Or I would do one of these and go real fast.
Yep.
Like I can't, I can't. Like I ruined myself with that. And then it was that, and it was one night. I don't know why I decided to, but I was watching the freaking I was watching the Tim Curry It movie like one night.
Oh,
before bed, and I ruined myself. Like
everybody floats.
Because I was legit like I saw kids on the screen and they were just talking about stuff, blah blah, and then a clown. Oh, cool, a clown, and then like it went left. And I was like,
balloons are blowing up and popping with blood. You're like,
yes.
what
I know. It just kept happening to me. Like that happened. Oh, then the worst one. Oh, the worst one. I was like 6 years old, and I found myself watching Carrie.
That movie in general, like even without anything gory, that movie is just creepy at times.
Yeah.
Just the way you shot, you're just like,
yeah. Found myself watching Carrie at like 6, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna pee myself in the bed tonight. It was just like, I'm not even scared at this point. It was such a foregone conclusion. I'm gonna have a nightmare. Like, and I'm pretty sure I did, because all I remember was, again, because I get like sucked in because it's like I don't know what this is. All I see is a movie called Carrie, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And I see the girl, and then she's like, oh yeah, we're your friends, we're this, we're that, blah blah blah. And then I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. And then like she goes to the dance, and then the pig blood falls on her, and everybody's laughing, and then you just see everything go up in flames. And I'm like,
burns the shit down. What?
And like, I legit remember having like a nightmare about that, and I think like the next morning my mom came in and like woke me up for school, and I like somehow, I don't know if I had an accident, I don't remember, but like I woke up and I woke up and I kind of like jumped because of course I had a nightmare. My mom was like, I bet you want to watch Carrie again, and I was just like, Okay, so you were watching me because like the way our house was at the time in our apartment, my parents had their room was like kind of right here, then our room was like dead in front of their room, and the door was open, and the TV was in the perfect doorway, so my mom could just sit here and just watch from her bed, watching me watching TV, like so she saw everything I was doing, like I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stick to freaking Doug, like it was that
I had one of
myself,
those. I had one of those moments also, but mine was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom with the heart tearing scene.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, how
yeah.
old were you?
Oh man, I want to say I was. It was in the 80s. My dad actually rented it on VHS, and we were watching it, and because it was kind of like, oh, like it's Indiana Jones, like
Right. That's why that surprised me.
Like that movie came out. I want to say that that Indiana Jones movie came out in like 84, 85, something like that. And I want to say I was like 6 or 7 years old, so it was late 80s when I was watching it. And so I was, I'm like kindergarten, first grade age almost, and like my dad's like, oh yeah, we're gonna watch. It's Indiana Jones, like it's an adventure, like it's an adventure movie. You know?
Yeah, that doesn't sound bad at all.
Yeah, and then it's like there were a few things in the movie that were like happening, like the monkey's brains when they eat the monkey's brains, or like when they cut open the snake and the little baby snakes, they're all eating them, and it was just like, and my dad was just kind of like, like kind of like it's not so bad, like
yeah.
My dad's just kind of like. My dad's got a pretty good sense of humor about it all and stuff like that, you know. And he's just, my dad's a Navy guy. He's just kind of like, you're good, you're fine, you're good. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh yeah, this part. And I'm watching it, and it's just like rips the guy's heart out and it catches on fire. I'm like, and I'm watching this like, you know, like. As a kid, I could just remember, like on the floor with the pillow, like eating popcorn, like, like looking over at my parents, like, did I just with him? What happened? What are we doing now? And my mom's got this look on her face, like, because like looking at my dad, just kind of,
I was like pissed at your dad. I'm sure.
If she was either that, or it's just like the disappointed, like this is the movie you picked. But yeah, like I remember my mom just looking at my dad like you're in trouble, you just don't know it yet. You know, and she's totally doing the like it's just fake, it's just for show, it's just,
you're fine,
and I'm like, okay, but in my head I'm like, like the covers are gonna be up here tonight.
Oh yeah. The rest of the movie.
Yeah, no, I watched the whole movie. Of
course,
and I loved it for what it was, but in my head it's just that heart pulling scene.
Yeah.
It's in my head like forever, like I'm with a candy cigarette in my bedroom,
shaking.
Cup of Kool-Aid in my candy cigarette, like.
I'm telling you, I have those core memories of those three movies ruining me. And after that, like, because my one aunt, she loved Twilight Zone. So
I love the
after like those three incidents happened with me, if I'll be at like I'll be at my grandma's house, but like some of my aunts lived with my grandma at the time, and after like all those incidents, every time I would walk into like the living room and my aunt would be Like she'd be like watching the show, whatever, and then like you hear Twilight Zone. I turn around, go right back out. I was like, nope.
You're like,
All right, I know what this is.
no.
This is a trigger. This is a trigger. I turn around and walk right back out. And I'd go to my grandma's room, and she like, I thought you were downstairs with your aunt. And I was like, she's watching Twilight Zone. I'm not doing it. Like, she's like, well, I'm watching Dick Van Dyke. I'd be like, cool, whatever. I don't care. We watching like Bob Newhart or something. And I'm over in the corner just playing with wrestlers, like hands shaking because like I've heard the song. Now the song's stuck in my head. Like,
it's just like on the wind.
Yo, I saw the episode of that with all the birds. That one ruined me. Gosh, that one was bad. That one was bad. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Terrified of that because I would watch so many shows and I'd be fine on Nickelodeon, and then the moment the little match would go off, I'd be like, nope, turn this channel. Like, nope, not watching this.
You're like, get the Midnight Society off my TV.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Nope,
I think
gone. Nope. I'd go. Like, let me go find PBS or something. Let me go find Mr. Rogers. Put this on. Like,
yeah,
I
we used
need
to make
something
jokes.
else.
We used to make jokes as kids. It's like when something was scary that would come on, it's like turn it off. We got to watch Wizard of Oz instead. Like it was like my sister. I remember my sister. One of the movies that freaked her out was Poltergeist. So like she saw Poltergeist at one time, and then she was just like, I have to watch Wizard of Oz now. It's like we gotta get
Gotta get something out. I gotta have happy thoughts.
That makes me happy.
Well, yo, you know what? When I was a kid, you know what got me too? The freaking Wiz. The Wiz terrified me as a kid. The Wiz.
Michael Jackson.
Yes, I couldn't get past the first scene when they were going, I think, down the escalator or whatever. All the people start coming off the walls, and they're all laid up against the wall. They all start coming off and going after them. And I was like, I can't watch this either.
You're like, The Wiz.
Yeah.
You're watching The Wiz, and all of a sudden it's like,
I had so many triggers as a kid.
Gunfire in the background.
Yo. There was that scene, and then the scene when they were in the subway and the walls and the garbage cans grew teeth and started attacking them and stuff. And then at the end where the freaking witch dies and Janet Jackson dies and starts melting and everything, going into the little toilet and everything.
Have you ever watched Return to Oz? Have you ever seen Return to Oz?
No.
It's a Disney. It came out in the 80s. Return to Oz.
Mm.
You want to see some you want to see some dark Mr. Boss stuff for kids? It was for kids. Keep in mind, this was for kids. One of the main bad guy characters in the movie is, her name's Princess Mombi, and she removes her head and she can switch her heads. And imagine seeing that as a kid. I saw it as a kid. And it was like the darkest. Like she wants to steal Dorothy's head in the movie. She's like, she's like, you have a pretty head. I want it.
Yo, see, the 80s was a messed up time because
I know. It was like the kids to watch. Dude, Dark Crystal and
what was the other with
Labyrinth?
Gizmo? What's the thing?
Oh, Gremlins.
Gremlins was not it was not a kid movie. Like,
the moms fight stabbing the
like
and putting him in the blender and in the microwave and
just a great kid storyline. I'm like, bro, this is not a kid's movie. Like,
yeah, that movie, I believe that's the movie that created PG-13. After that they were like, we need to have PG-13 movies.
You gotta have something in the middle.
Yeah, it was PG. Was a PG movie, and it's like parents are bringing him to the movies
it was good from PG-13 to just R. Even from PG to R. Like, we need something in the middle here.
Yeah,
we gotta break it up. gotta be a middle ground. You
Yeah.
can't go from PG to R, bro.
I
Like,
remember PG movies in the 80s. I remember seeing PG movies with naked boobs, and I was like, like what? Like, you know, and of course, as a kid, it's like,
yeah, like ooh.
you know, and of course, like the parents are probably in the background, just like, oh shit.
Shoot,
Like,
what was I just getting ready? What was I just thinking about? Oh, but then like movies like, cause I saw RoboCop young, and like movie didn't do anything for me besides just be awesome. Like, and they have the whole scene of man melting from the acid and stuff like that, and I'm like,
Peter Weller gets shot up in the beginning of it.
like
his arm, his hand and everything just blown off.
yeah, and I was just like, when did that movie come out?
88 or 9.
And
it was like late 80s.
When I saw it, was like early to mid 90s. I saw that, and
well, that
makes
makes sense because it was on TV a lot too.
Right, and I probably saw it like when I was like 6 or 7, and I was just like, "This is awesome!" Like there was no like,
yeah, because it was.
Like, yeah,
it is.
Like that wasn't scary to me. Like that was just cool, awesome, whatever.
That
like,
was the action. That was like the action violence versus like the horror creepy violence.
Yeah, like
you know,
action violence never got like I thought it was cool. Like
no, it was cowboys and Indians in your head, like awesome, like oh we're
right, like something like The Conjuring and like The Exorcist and all that stuff. No, I'm not watching that. Like I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah,
but, like,
oh dude,
I'm not doing that. But like stuff like RoboCop and Terminator and stuff, I thought it was cool. Like I'm never scared of Terminator. I was like, this is just pretty sick. Like that
when
never did anything for me.
When I was like 11 years old, I think it was like 11.
Mm.
Silence of the Lambs won the Academy Award. Like there were Academy Awards, right? So my parents rented it, and I believe we had some family in town at the time, like I think. And my parents were like, "Oh, like it won Academy Awards. Like this is supposed to be like a drama, a really good drama." You've seen Silence of the Lambs, right?
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah, yes, like.
And I was like, I want to say I was like 10 or 11 years old, and we sat and watched Silence of the Lambs. And I can remember my mom. My mom was like seething, like she had that, like sucking air through her teeth, like because we were watching it, and I was watching it with them, and I just there's so many the disturbing doesn't even cover like half.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and I loved it as a kid because I was like, this is so creepy and gross and weird. And I was at an age where it was like, it was less scary and more like, because I'm also reading comic books. So it was kind of like, ooh, you know? And I had comic books, like I had like The Crow and stuff, which were like violent comic books. And like, luckily my mom never cracked any of those open to see what I was reading. Because then the comic books might have been taken away a little bit. But I was like, ooh. And then I was watching these movies, and but my dad definitely had a hand in that one too, where it was like, oh yeah, it won Academy Awards, let's watch it. Like,
jeez.
My dad rented some of the. It's so funny to me now, some of the stuff that my dad like exposed me to, and I'm thankful for it because other stuff would come out later, and I was like, it didn't bother me as much as other people that I knew.
Right.
Because my dad definitely was like, oh yeah, here, we're gonna watch Goodfellas, or we're gonna watch The Godfather, or we're gonna, like some of those, that I knew parents who were like, I wouldn't let my 10-year-old child watch The Godfather. I'm like,
right.
And in my head, I'm like, why? And then if you just objectively look at it, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of murder in this movie. Like, there's a lot of murder gangland stuff in this. There's great drama, but also like he murders the head of the 5 families. He's killing the dude in bed with a hooker. Like, it's like, like kind of thing. So
I don't remember. I don't remember. I mean, there was a point where they just kind of like, I'm not gonna say they stopped caring when I started watching, but like it was obviously less strict. But
Eased
like,
up.
yeah, eased up. But like
That was
stuff like Godfather and everything never really, again, stuff like that never phased me. Like so, like
yeah. Like I said, it's like stuff that like would a lot of parents allow it? Probably not.
probably not. But like,
But it didn't phase me either. Like as far as like, I thought it was awesome. I just was
like I was always into like mafias and Italian mob bosses and all that stuff. Like,
yeah,
that's always
Scarface.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I saw
Scarface.
Scarface. Dude,
Ooh.
I'm watching I was a little kid, and I'm watching Scarface bury his face in a mountain of cocaine and then shoot everybody up. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I don't have a real concept of what's going on. Like I kind of do, but it's just like I see it, and I'm just kind of like, this is a great movie. This is a great movie.
I couldn't tell you how old I was when I watched it, but you know, I had to watch it. I think I watched the first one. I think I watched it was censored because there was no way like I was at home and it was going to be like all the cursing going on in it. But like I watched it again uncensored, a little bit older. But the first time I watched it, like I'm pretty sure I snuck and watched it. I think my parents were away, and I was like, yo, I've heard about this now. I watched it, and like, yeah, like he was just you know, drugs and just murder on everybody. I just the one scene
with a chainsaw, like
oh,
you know, like
oh yeah. Just the one. I just always remember the scene where he was talking to the dude in the car, and the dude was just talking whatever. They go back and forth, and he was just like, "We're gonna kill a man, woman, and child." And he was like, "Hey, no kids, no kids." And the guy was like, "Going," and then he's bow, just like while he's driving, just took him right out. He's like, "Now look at you, you're dead." Just I was like, "Dang, this man did not play." Like, and at the end, he knew he was going out. Like at the end, he knew it was over. He was like, "All right." Took the line,
say hello to my little friend,
and just started spraying, taking everybody up. He was dropping left and right, and my man came up behind him and just doof. Like
he was so whacked out on the devil's dandruff at the end. He's getting blown away multiple times, and he's just
eating it. He was just eating it. He knew. Dude came up behind him
to the back to get him to die.
Point blank with the back. I was like, yo, my man. I don't know how you didn't. I mean, you must have been so in the zone from everybody else. He didn't hear my man coming behind him, but the man came walking up like the Terminator. He had the boots. He had the glasses, everything. Just I was like, dang. That was. All stuff like that to me was awesome though. Like it was just cool. Like it was that stuff never fazed me. Like horror movies, I couldn't do. Like I to this day, like I very seldomly watch horror movies. Like I don't know. I mean, it just as not an adult, it just doesn't really interest me as much. Like it just is what it is now. I've watched a few. Like what one freaked me out. What was that? What was the movie? Not The Ring. The Ring didn't do much for me. Not The Ring. Oh, it was like kids, but they were like ghosts or something like that. And what was that movie? I can't remember what else happens in that movie. It wasn't. 13 Ghosts didn't scare me really. 13 Ghosts was good.
13 Ghosts was very action packed, kind of.
Yeah.
In a lot of I like 13 Ghosts.
I like 13 Ghosts. They didn't scare me so much. I never saw Blair Witch. I never actually saw that.
So Blair Witch. It's funny because now if you watch it, it's laughable. It's really just like it's not that creepy. It's just it's like whatever. But I saw it in the movie theater on a date. And yeah, I was on a date with this girl because it came out when I was in high school. And we went and saw Blair Witch. And it was like that movie, the first time you see it at that time, living in that time, it was like, because there was nothing like it. There was no found footage stuff like that. Right. And they built it as like they did a real good job of making you believe like this is real. Like this is real. Like, this really happened. Shit. And at least to the regular movie audience. And so I went in going to see it, and I was kind of like, let me, like, and I was totally one of those kids, like, whatever, let me watch. And it feels disturbing. It feels crazy. And you're like, and you're sitting there and you're like, what? And then the ending is like, what did I just see? And and it's like, it's really nothing, like, not really that much happens in it, but it just feels like it just keeps getting darker and darker and darker. And then at the end of it, it's like, did I just witness these people just get murdered? Like, because you don't know, because you're like, the way they set it up, the way they shot it, it's just like, what did I just, and it ends and you're like, what the fuck? And literally, and in the theater, the girl who I was with, she was like, and she's clinging to me, and she's doing just like, what's the, and I can hear her just kind of like, oh, I don't want to watch this anymore. This is like, she was like just not having it, and I watched it, and I'm just like it made me feel bad almost. Like, it was just like, wow, like, that's what, like, what, like it was a kind of a freak out moment. Now, a few years later, you go and watch it again, and you're like, screw this movie. This movie's boring. Like, I see scarier stuff on the news. Like,
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, word up.
Yeah. If I see a cop turn his lights on behind me, that's scarier than this. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I'm walking down the street, and I'm just like, oh shit, my bad.
Oh, dude.
Just
try
to go to work. Just try to go to work.
Just,
yeah.
Please, just no eye contact.
Yeah, word up.
But no, yeah, it's just funny because, like, it's very funny thinking about it too. Like, you had to have been there. It's just like with cartoons, like we have said before. It's there's certain things like you had to have been there, and it's so cliche, but it's like that's how it works.
It's the truth. Like, it's the truth. It sucks. I'm just like, I've gone back, and now since starting this series, like, I've gone back and I've watched a lot of like older cartoons, and some are I've started over again. It's like since the first time I've seen it as a kid. Other times I started actually tried for the first time. Like, I tell people, like, I watched the first episode of Cops and Crooks that came out, I think it's in '86, and I watched it. And animation's a little rough.
A little bit, yeah. But again, I was there for it, so.
And you probably love it, like.
Well, I mean, it forced. You got to remember, I also have it through the lens of like what was out at the time, and it was kind of it was the more upper tier of
right.
Just kind of like Captain Planet. A lot of people like make jokes about Captain Planet and stuff like that, but Captain Planet was for the time that was a solid superhero type show.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't X-Men or Batman, obviously, or or Spider-Man, but it was up there. Like, there's a reason people remember Captain Planet. Like,
oh yeah.
It seems there is some cheesiness to it, Go Planet type stuff, but at the time, but also
I feel like that was part of the times. I feel like that was the times.
Oh, with the times, yes, it was of its time, but it was it's like. If it hit you at that moment, you liked it,
Fair enough.
Just like some people, will go off about how much they love Beavis and Butthead. Me personally, it didn't hit me that way. I didn't really. It came out, and I was kind of like, you watched it and maybe a little bit, and you kind of was like, okay, goofy, haha, whatever. But some people, it was like that was their thing. And to this day, like, they will.
Yeah, they'll go to war for that show. And yeah.
Yeah. And
I didn't.
All right.
I didn't. It was one of those shows where I wasn't allowed to watch it, but at the same time, I really didn't care to watch it because it just looked
Yeah.
stupid to me. Like I had seen, I can't even say I saw clips because this is the '90s, but it was like I feel like I've seen commercials or something like that, and just seeing the commercials, I was just like, this doesn't even look funny. Like,
Yeah. See, we watched, like, there were some things about it that, like, me and my friends would giggle about or whatever. But, it was not something like I felt like, oh, this has to be a big part of my life type of thing.
yeah,
There were other shows on MTV that were more important to me, that were cartoon based, like, at the time, because there was, like, The Max, which was based on a comic that I liked, which was awesome. And then there was also Eon Flux, which was another sort of comic anime sort of really good sci-fi weird cartoon. And I love those two cartoons a lot. Like, to this day, I still have the DVD set of all the Eon Flux episodes.
oh, nice.
The movie's garbage, so we won't talk about that. But there's a live action movie that Charlize Theron did, and it's terrible.
Oh, you said Martin? Oh, Aeon Flux.
Eon Flux, yeah.
Oh yeah. Did I see that movie? I think I saw that movie.
Yeah, it's trash. It's trash. But the cartoon, the original cartoon, so good. And there was also, I think it was comic books of it too, or maybe it's just books that they did with stuff in it for that MTV did. And I think I had one of them. So, but it's just there were, like I said, you had to have been there for a lot of that stuff. So
that's the thing. Like that's like I said, I was not trying to hold you long, but like it's just I feel like it's gonna be how it's gonna be this season. Just talking, just shooting the shit, which is fine. But like,
sure,
I feel like there's so much nowadays as far as like there's a streaming app for this and a streaming app for that, and this and that, and obviously there's access to all this stuff that you can go back and watch pretty much any time now. But even then, like it doesn't hit like it used to, and I feel like all these kids nowadays, especially while working in the field I work in, like talking to them, and I've asked them like, "What do y'all like do at home? Like what do you like? Do you watch cartoons? Do you watch like? There's just mostly it's just like Roblox, Fortnite,
video games,
Italian brain rot, whatever the fuck that is. Like like that's all it is. And I'm just like, y'all missed out on so much. Like
it's almost like a kid culture that they just will never have.
Never, like That's to me, like I can't say it's depressing because that's just me pushing my agenda on the generation. They might be having fun, but I'm just like,
because we're not going to think of their stuff as interesting as what we had, because we're not experiencing it the way that they're experiencing it through their lens, and that's why and again, you don't have kids yet, so but and. Again, you're absolutely right. I might be selfish and pushing my agenda, but I did. My children.
Good. Damn right.
Because I did stuff because I was like, well, I know what I liked, so I want to show you guys because I think you guys will like it. And the thing is that a lot of it stuck with my sons. So my oldest, especially, like he was super into Cartoon Network. Fairly Odd Parents was one of the ones that he loved. He watched Powerpuff Girls with my wife. He watched G.I. Joe with me. He watched He-Man with me. But what he really got into, which I was super proud of, is that he loved Looney Tunes. He loved Tom and Jerry. And he loved like some of the older school cartoons. He loved at Christmas time, I'm going to make him watch all the Christmas movies that I like. And he loved them, And of course, new ones would come out that would get added into the mix.
Right.
So, when Elf came out, he watched Elf with us. And it was like, And then when my younger was born, we did it with him. And there's a bunch of stuff, like if I put it on, he won't watch it on his own. But if Dad's putting it on to sit down and watch it, Dad, can I come and watch watch that with you? Yeah, of course. And he wants to sit. Because he knows that I enjoy it a lot, and he enjoys watching it with me. So
yeah, that's awesome. Like,
it's one of the best. It's one of the most rewarding things if it works out for you with a child. If you have children someday, I'm not trying to tell you have to.
No, I am.
Different for everybody. But yeah, if you have a child, one of the coolest things in the world, doesn't matter, boy or girl, whoever, your child, is if you can share with them what you love at an early age, and if it gets to them in the same way, where it's going to be a happy thought, a comforting, nostalgic property for them, in their heart. It's it does make you feel good, because it's like it feels like I'm showing you something that this is what it did for me, and now it's going to do it for you. And if it does do it for them, it's like you feel like you share that. You feel like you made it a little bit cooler for them.
Yeah,
and
that's cool. That's cool. Like, I feel like we can end it on this, but what you said is like what I honestly, like, when I hopefully, God willing, do have kids, like, I do want to do that. I want to sit them down and like show them like, we're not gonna do the whole like tablet iPad thing every day all day. Like, I want y'all to play with toys. I want my kids to go outside. Like, I don't. That's like one of the most depressing things. Like being home and not seeing kids out in the summertime running up and down the street playing.
Not anymore.
That's so depressing. See, I get the world is the way the world is nowadays. I get it, but like
the dangers are recognized more, I guess.
Yeah.
Plus the internet. The internet's ruined a lot of stuff. I'm sorry.
It really has. I'm like, but like, I think one of my favorite parts of the summer, when I went down, I spent time with my brother and my two nephews, his two sons, in North Carolina for 2 weeks. And at the end of most every night, just, I don't know why, but I was on, I was like going through YouTube and everything, and I was doing whatever. And then I went to Tubi and I put on a TMNT, the one I was telling you about, that says whatever.
Yeah.
And I played the first episode. My nephew, my first nephew, he's a senior in high school. He's into anime. Like, he watches anime heavy, like I do. So, we go back and forth all the time. And he's like, "Did you watch this show? Did you watch that show? What you think of this show?" So we bond over like things like that, football, and just life things. So we go through similar things. He's going through similar things that I've gone through, and then we talk about anime and stuff like that. So he's always like, "Did you watch that?" And I'm just like, "Yes." Like, I'm like 500 shows deep. You ain't gonna beat me. But but at the end of every night, and it was cool. It was like, because me and my brother were kind of sitting there. He had pulled out like a bottle of like whiskey and put it on the table, and I put TMNT on. And then my one nephew, he's 7. He came out his room, and then we have my younger one, he's like in elementary school or whatever. He would just kind of be sitting with us too. So the 4 of us were just like watching like 90s TMNT from episode 1. And just put it on, and we're just watching it, and then like, seeing my nephew, like both of them just kind of laying on the couch next to each other, like, and like they're like just watching TMNT, and then like I was like, all right, that was cool, whatever. And then they looked at me, both of them was like, "What you mean?" I was just like, just wanted to throw it on. Or they were like, "You're not gonna play the next one?" And I was like, "Got you hooked." Episode 2.
See? And there you go, because
it was so good. It was so good. We binge watched like that whole 2 weeks I was down there. I think we binge watched like the first 2 seasons of it. It was like the end of every night we would watch like 2 or 3 episodes until both my nephews would fall asleep, and then we're like, all right, go to bed. Like, then and even my brother's older than me, but like even he would be like, "Yo, play next episode. Like, what are you doing?" Like,
yeah.
Yeah, he would be like, "Yo, we got snacks. Like, they got their little drinks, whatever. They got some soda or juice or whatever. And we got our whiskey. We had some chips. We have whatever, and we would just be binge watching for hours. And then like they go to sleep, I go to sleep, and then the next night just binging. Like it's 2 weeks of that just binging TMNT. And I'm like, I want to go. I came back up here and I'm like, I want to keep watching it, but I'm like, I kind of want to just have that save that moment when I go back down there and just like, yo, we getting back on season 3. Like, what we doing? Like, like
Yep. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Like, I want to do that. Like, one day when I have kids, I want to be like, all right, there's the best superhero ever, Static Shock. We're gonna put him on. Just
you're like
episode 1.
You're gonna watch it.
Yep. Episode 1. We're gonna do it. And I want to play like Recess for him, and I want to play like X-Men 95. Or I want to put all that on, like for real. Anything else? I think we covered everything.
I mean, I can keep going, but you know.
I know. I know.
I've got an unlimited amount of just I can keep going for this stuff. This is all the stuff I love. So
we're definitely gonna have to do another sleepover special. We're definitely gonna have to do that.
I mean we get like Dante thrown in the mix, or Arthur. Like we're gonna. I mean,
oh yeah, we're
going to our wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're not, like you said, we're not like pigeonholed to just like toys, and then it's just like we're not just doing like, oh, here's the toy news.
It all mixes together. It all it all comes together, man.
It's literally
one of the things too that I especially loved, but you do get now is like you can actually go onto YouTube and you can watch some episodes of certain things. Not a lot of stuff, but you can watch some episodes where it's somebody's just putting on broadcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff so you can actually see the old school commercials with it. Because I never thought I would miss seeing some of the old commercials that actually played with the shows.
That's fair. It's fair.
And then, so see like an old Pizza Hut commercial or an old Nerf commercial or just something that pops on, and it's just like, or something you just completely forgot about. You haven't even thought about it in 20 years, and then it comes on and you're like, and it's just like it's some weird. You get that little memory bubble for you, and you're just like,
core memory unlocked.
Yeah, like it just takes you back. You just like memory unlocked. You go right back. It's gaining almost like a little piece of yourself you've lost, and it's so it warms me.
Yeah, it's crazy to look back on. I mean, again, you're older than you were, like in the 80s and stuff like that, but it's crazy to think of like what we did back in that time, and like how the world is now, and it's like, are we really in the same world that we were in back then? Like it don't seem like
no,
like it don't seem nowhere near the
different place. Yeah, there was no Google, there was no GPS, there was no, and the thing is that you hear it a lot. You hear all these. There was no this. There was no that. There was no cell phones. There was no whatever. But see, the thing is that you say that to somebody who didn't experience it, and they're just kind of like almost okay boomer type stuff.
Oh my gosh!
But it's like, no, you were not there. You really don't. Like it's you can't even explain it. Like,
nope.
I was talking about music stores to a kid I work with, who's like, less than half my age.
Mm-hmm.
And he's working, and he's like, he's like 18 years old, and he's working, this is like one of his first jobs, and he's working in the place I work, and he's just like, and we're sitting there, and I'm talking to a bunch of guys who are, between your age and my age, so we're, we can all kind of be like, yeah, we brought up pagers. And he's just like, and I'm telling him what a pager is, and he's like, that doesn't exist. Like, that's not real.
Yeah.
And I'm like, boy, you just don't get it.
No.
It was obsolete like 5 years before you were born.
They don't get it. There's like, just working with the in elementary school, the kids I work with, it's just like we'll say that because it's me, like the main teacher or whatever. We'll say stuff like that all the time. It's like, oh, it was the '90s. Like you will never understand it. Like you had to be there. Like it's like
try to explain phone book to them.
We tried so many times to be like, I forgot we talked about. Oh, there's something that we were talking about not too long ago. I can't remember what it was, but the teacher, she literally was just like, she was like, trust me, like you guys would not survive the '90s. You would never have survived the '90s. And if we took one of you now and dropped you in the '90s, you wouldn't know how to work. Like you wouldn't know how to live. It's like because it's like there was no playing video games online with your friends. There was no we're gonna play Roblox. We didn't have computers. Like not like that at least. Like and it didn't have any type of the capabilities.
They didn't work the way
now.
They didn't work the way you know how.
No, like we didn't have phones back in '95. I didn't have a cell phone in '95. Like
they were bricks.
Right, they were like
they were big in '95.
Like
I saw some, but they were still pretty big.
Like it's like we didn't have that stuff. We were, and then it was like, yo, during the summers, our parents would be like, you go out, get out the house, get outside.
Oh yeah,
get out of the house.
Summer, no,
like
during the summer, I was lucky to get through the cartoons on Saturday during the summer. I was lucky. Like I literally by like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, my parents were like, "Go ride your bike, go get out of the house." And the thing is that I wasn't mad about it. I was like, "Bye,"
right? Yeah,
like I got a game to go play. Like, see, that's the thing is like during the summer, for me in my neighborhood, it was the neighbor kids and everything. Like it was, we go out. We had basically like the Sandlot. It was like a version of the Sandlot where it was like you go play baseball all day. It was like you go play baseball all day. During the summer, that's what you did. It was so, but a lot of times we didn't even have baseballs. A lot of times because we couldn't. It was like wherever we could scrounge. So it was like balls and stuff, stuff like that.
Yeah,
softballs. Someone brings a softball. We're like whatever, And it's just that's what you did there. And so it was like you didn't get to. There was no like, oh, I'm gonna wake up and play Roblox. Hell no. It was first of all. If you stayed near the house too, the chances of a chore coming your way.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
So it was like, So it was like, guess what? I'm gonna go build a fort somewhere, or I'm gonna ride my bike down to a corner store and like loiter with my friends.
Loiter.
Maybe we'll find some change on the street, or like We'll collect cans because we used to be able to collect cans and you could turn them in for like a nickel or whatever, like stuff like that. We like it was like we're gonna scrounge and hustle. We're gonna do the kid hustle somewhere to like go do something or get into trouble somewhere.
Yeah. It was like you didn't want to be in. The only time you were inside was if it was like rained outside. It was raining or something. Like you couldn't go outside. Like
I was in Washington. It didn't matter.
Well, there you go. There you go. It was rain every day, probably.
We were out in the rain.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we didn't go outside like that. Like if it was pouring rain, we were out like that. Like, but if it was like light drizzle or something like that, we were outside. It didn't matter.
Get a tarp. We'd be out in the woods. We'd get a tarp, be out in the woods, building the fort. Now, there wasn't a ton of woods around us, but there was enough that we could find a place to make a fort.
True. Like they telling you, there was, like you said, there was no, we're going to wake up and just grab my tablet and lay in bed all day and just play games. And
oh, no. In fact, even if it was just back then, just like, oh, mom and dad, I think I'll just lay in bed today. You kidding me? What, are you sick?
Yeah.
Like, no, it was literally like, are you sick? No, you're not sick.
Get out.
Get up.
Get out. You were lucky to eat breakfast sometimes. It was just like no, go wash the shit out your eyes, go to the bathroom, get out. Like
no, it was get outside. It's a nice day.
Yeah.
Get outside.
Yes.
It didn't matter if it was a nice day. It was just it's a nice day for you to get the hell out of my
Yeah. Go get your friends and go do
You
something.
ain't gonna stay here.
Nope. So you're gonna stay here. You're gonna go vacuum. You're gonna dust. You're gonna do laundry.
Yeah.
You're gonna take garbage out.
Wash windows.
Shirt on.
Yep.
Shoes on.
There's some laundry to fold. Yeah.
Let me go get my box of cereal and pour a handful of cereal in my head and slam it and go outside.
Grab a Pop-Tart and run out the door. It was
a
lot of times.
That was it. And it was be back by the time the porch light comes on. Cool.
Yeah.
We was gone from like 11 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night.
It's so funny you said the porch light because we had the there was a light, like the street light that was like above my house, and it was like that light comes on, you're out.
You better be on the front porch. Oh yeah, that was us too.
And it came on, and around that time when it came on was dinner time. So it was like it came on, it wasn't always dark when it came on. It was just like it came on around the time, and it was probably around dinner time. So it was like that comes on, you're here.
Oh yeah, it was. What was it for us?
And then you're doing dishes.
I want to say for us it was either 8 o'clock or it was 9 o'clock at night. One of the two, but it was like the same thing. We had our house was like the second house on the block, so it was like the one house, our house, and then there was a street pole. There was a light pit on a porch, like a light, like right there, and then our porch light. But they were like, we would sometimes try to argue and be like, they'd be like, oh, by 9 o'clock, better be on the front porch. But it'd be like 8:57, and the lights are coming on, but it's not fully on, so it's kind of like that orange before it turns bright. And we're like, whoa, we got 3 minutes. Like, we gotta run. We'd be like hustling home. Like, it was like you better be on this porch by that time. And it was like, but we was 7, 8, 9 years old, just gone for hours. For hours. Our parents didn't know where we were.
I was 8 when that started for me.
Yeah. We were
previous to that, it was just previous to that it was probably like 5 or it was like 5 o'clock be at home type of thing.
Yeah.
But the light started around 8 or 9 years old, and then that was law. That was like that light on, you're home. If
you weren't, then you wasn't going out.
I heard my mom would be out the front door screaming at the top of her lungs. Like I'd get the 3 name.
Oh,
first, last, middle.
Oh, you got full government. Oh
yeah, you get the Christian 3 name out the front door. Guess what? You're already you're beyond trouble.
You're done. You're done up. You get the full government. You're done up. It's over.
If I get the 2 name, I know it's popping off. But if I get the 3 name yelled out the front door, like mom standing on the porch yelling out the front door, the 3 name, I'm cooked.
It didn't matter where we were either. Like we could be blocks away. It would be,
and I'd hear it too.
Yeah,
I'd be at my friend's house.
Yep. It'd just be something. My dad would be on the front, or my mom, John and Joe, and you would just see it just running. Just run down the street. We're right here. Like, just up the stairs.
I'd be on my bike, just like the Wicked Witch music is playing. I would be, I was like that. Luckily, I was pretty good about not coming home too late.
Yeah.
But there were times.
Oh, yeah.
There were times. And by the time I got home, there might be a belt in her hand. Not saying it was always used. In fact, it wasn't used that much, but
it might be. Then the summertime, there was a day when we used to go play. Our thing was like this, like you're thinking of baseball. Our thing was basketball growing up. So we used to go to the park in the town next door, and it was like a 20-minute walk maybe or something like that from the house at the time. But we used to leave the house at like 9 a.m. and we wouldn't eat breakfast or anything. We would just have like water, and we would go round up like all of our friends. So we would go get all my friends, all my brother's friends. So it'd be like 15 to almost 20 of us walking down the street to the park. and we get to the park, and then like we play basketball from like 10 in the morning to like when that street light comes on at like 9 o'clock at night. But there was literally a night when my brother was playing the game, and I don't know, somebody must have had like a watch or something because there wasn't no cell phone, but like somebody must have had a watch or something like that. And I was like, yo, what time is it? Because it was mad dark, and the dude was like, he looked at his watch and he was like, it's 8:58. And I looked up, I was like, yo, John. And he was like, what? In the middle of the game, and I was like, bro, it's 8:58. Like, and my brother looked at me, and we grabbed our book bags, and he told his boy who came on a bike, he was like, bro, I'll bring your bike back tomorrow. His boy was like, yo, what? Yo, I tell you, my brother was riding. I was on the back pegs holding on to this dude, and he was pedaling like you were just pedaling.
Were your bikes actually moving back and forth?
Back and forth. He was pedaling his soil. And we got back to our house. He took his boy's bike. We ran up the stairs, and we had like a fenced-in side yard, like a high gate and all this other stuff. He took my boy's bike, and he ran the bike up the stairs to the front porch, and he looked over to the side yard and threw the bike over to the side yard. And we ran upstairs, and it was like 9:05, and we ran up the stairs. We lived on like a multi-level house, so we got to our door. And as we were getting ready to go in, the door opened, and my mom and dad were just standing in the doorway, like, just staring. And it was like 9:06, and we were like, "Shit!"
You're like, I'm trying to slide in under the butt chewing. Grab my hat.
So done.
Oh.
So done. It was like 9:06, and my brother just looked at me. He was like, I'm sorry. My bad, man. I tried my best to get us home.
So where we played baseball was up the hill from my house. So there was like a hill up to where like the park sort of area was near the neighborhood and stuff. And we did have basketball courts. The problem is that every time someone put up a new hoop, some idiot fucking ripped it down and broke it. Or something. Like the net, like someone would have to go and grab the net. It had at one point there was like they put in one with like a chain net, so and someone still ripped the whole damn thing down. So that's why we didn't play basketball a whole lot. But we played baseball. Like next to it was like where you could play baseball. It was like a little sandlot type spot. And but yeah, it's like I was up the hill still. And I could hear my mom, and so luckily I could jump on the bike and go down the hill. And there were a few times. There was a few times where I went down the hill and I wasn't on the bike when I got to the bottom. I'm like, like sliding down the side, catching gravel inside of my leg. There were a few times where it was literally like because I gotta be, because if she walks out the front door to yell my name and I'm like within sight, I'll be like I'll just get inside the house type of thing, which is just like a little like you almost made me mad.
Yeah, that was definitely the warning shot. Definitely the warning.
It was like, and probably right after that was like, go do the trash or something. There was a little like.
You gotta have a little punishment here. A little punishment. Oh yeah.
Just a little like. Vacuum.
Oh yeah. Vacuum at 9:00 at night. Oh.
It wasn't even. It was just a little like. I gotta do a little something before I go like.
Shoot. Once my brother kind of like moved on and moved out and he was doing his own thing, and I started going to like middle school ish, like freshman year of high school, I started to like go out and do my own thing, and I was like 13, 14, 15, and so we moved houses, and the house that we were in, it's like we have our backyard, but it backs up onto a forest. And it's like we have our whole big block with houses on the outside of it. and the whole
Yeah.
inside of it is all forest, so it connects like.
Oh, okay.
So like there'd be times where my mom would be the same thing. It'd be okay, like I'm a little older. Okay, 10 o'clock, you better be in the house. Like, cool. And same thing, we'd be playing basketball or we'd be somewhere, and I would be like, okay, it's 9:56. Like I can't go around this and make it in time. So then it's like I gotta take the woods. I gotta take the woods shortcut, and I would be run over this, go over this, hop this, and I'd hop over the fence. And we had an old car in the back. I'd hop onto the hood of the car and hop down, and I'd run out through the backyard. And my dad would be on the front porch at like 10 p.m. He'd get ready to be like, look up, and I'd be like, "Yo, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here in the backyard. I'm in the backyard. 10 o'clock. Like I'm right here." Like, and he would same thing. He would look at me and be like, just you almost messed up.
Like it's like.
Yep. You got school tomorrow. Get in the house.
Yeah.
Tomorrow when you get home, back in the front room.
Yep.
Respectfully. I pushed the boundaries. Respectfully, I get it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's definitely like. There's some laundry. There's some laundry in the dryer that needs to be like you're just like,
for sure.
You know, then you have to do that kind of like
yeah.
it kind of seed a little bit.
Definitely, you gotta.
You know, and it's like, and the funny thing was that they're kind of like doing this, but in their heads are like, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got this round. You got this round.
Yeah.
You got that.
That's funny. It's funny. It's funny too, especially when you become a parent, and then it's like, I'm the one, because there were with my oldest man, like I don't have to worry about it with my youngest, but my oldest, like he was a pusher. He wanted to get that little extra like 15 more minutes, 5 more minutes. You know, he was always that. There was always just a little more. I'm going to try to get a little bit more out of it, you know. And then when he knew where it was like, oh, God, like, I'm not getting that extra 5 minutes, you know. Like, and then he's totally trying, but he was sneaky. He loved being sneaky. So he was the one who'd, like, try to climb in the window, thinking no one can hear him, you know. And of course, me and my wife are just like, hilarious. So we're like sitting in his room in the dark.
Oh man,
he's climbing in the window.
That is done.
In the window.
Done.
Yep.
Oh.
And then and he comes in the window, and my wife's like turning on the lights, and we're standing there, and he's just like halfway in the window, like
deer the headlights,
like a dude on Cops who just got caught with like just like
straight deer in the headlights. Just the shit. And busted.
We had a few times, and the thing is that like my wife is good, and my wife is of course like, do you know what time it is? Doing the mom stuff, and I'm just like biting my lips, just like because I want to laugh. I just want to laugh because it's just like. Everything you're doing right now that you think you're getting away with. It's like the stuff that we tried to get. It's like it just keeps going. We all try to do the same.
It's just a cycle. It's
a lot of the same.
Yeah. I tried to get smart for a while because like there's a baseball field at the block from my house, and like after I got to whatever age, they'd be like, "Oh, be in the house by 10, whatever," and then it'd be like 10:15. They'd be like on the front porch looking for me. I'm just right here in the parking lot. I'm right here. I'm on the block. Relax. Like the house is it's 2 houses down. You can see me. I'm right here. So just give me that 5 minutes. Like they'd be like, in the house. Like get in there.
Yeah, like
all right.
You push.
Yeah, I did. I think about on the block. Come on, like
yeah.
Like, they'd be like, I don't care. It's in the house, not on the block. Like,
you're just making up stuff to like justify it. You just start making stuff. Look, come on. I'm wearing a red shirt. You're wearing a red shirt. It's okay, right? I mean,
talking to my friends. We're going over football practice. We're going over plays for tomorrow. Come on. I'm dedicated to the
Dad,
game.
come on.
Like,
you like burgers? I like burgers. What's up?
This- Meanwhile, I'm like, all right, so you're gonna pick me up tomorrow and we're gonna go to that house party, right? All right, we gonna like that was like we were a game plan for the day after.
Yeah.
Like, you know what we were doing. Wasn't no outsmarting nobody. Oh my gosh.
And I, and it's funny stuff that just like you think about it now and you're like, why did I do these things? But we all did. We all did.
Yeah. Thought we were grown.
Yep.
We all
cookie. I'm gonna try to take two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we definitely gotta do another sleepover. We'll do a season 2 finale. We're gonna have to get a nice little all-star cast on here. Oh,
I'll be there.
I know. I'll make sure you are. I will make sure you are.
Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with this big dumb face all over again.
Oh, please. Anytime you want, you're on the channel. Anytime you want. We'll just start a new podcast and be like just me and you just shooting shit. Like,
man, I've always got some dumb little stories to tell.
That sounds good to me. Shoot. Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, guys. Thanks for watching. I mean, we go along every fucking week, whatever. It is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. Again, Paul, thanks so much, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things, and I think that's it. I gotta go to sleep because I gotta get up tomorrow for this freaking festival.
Tomorrow is Saturday, though. Tomorrow is Saturday, so
I have Monday off too, so I'm chilling.
I don't, because my work is like, we don't care. You're coming in Monday morning. No, I'm in a job. It's industrial, so it's like there's a lot of.
They're like it's a regular Monday, man.
Well, we can't get behind because we service. I mean, we have customers that are hospitals, and just, for what we make and everything, it's just like we get. It's like.
I feel that.
When you operate machinery that is like only you can do this, it's like, guess what? See you Monday, buddy. and I'm like, as job security. And it's early in the morning. But you know what though? I never work past 3 or 4 o'clock usually, so
there you go.
I can't hate on it. No, I do get up at 3 in the morning. So
Jeez. I get up at 5 and I'd be hurting. Man.
You know what? It gets much easier after dinner. You get into that groove. So
yeah, I dig that because there was a time where I was like, I can't wake up at 5 a.m. and now I'm just what it is. Like, I feel that.
Well, I won't keep you though because you guys.
Yeah. All right, man. Let me play the music. Until next week. Thanks for watching, guys.